Hey guys, Courtney Despos, Director of Education with Trouts Fly Fishing. In this installment of Trouts Tips, we're going to work on putting our rod together and adding the reel. The rod we're going to be putting together today is a 4-piece 9-foot 5-weight, which is pretty much the go-to rod here in our Colorado trout waters. When we're looking at this rod in 4 pieces, this first section with the grip is your butt end, and I'm going to count that as section number 1. We're going to go sequentially from that point forward out to section number 4, with section number 4 being our tip. What we're going to do first is we're going to align sections 1 and sections 2. On this Orvis Helios 3, I have nice guide marks to go with. So what you'll see is there's 2 white marks here that I can line up. After I put this section 1 and section 2 together, I'm actually going to move over to section 3 and section 4 and follow the same process, aligning those marks to make sure that my guides are lined up well. Now that I have my 4-piece into 2 larger pieces, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect these 2 pieces for ease. As I connect these 2 pieces, I'm making sure that these dots, again, are aligned. If for some reason your rod does not have the alignment dots, your option is to still go ahead and you can put those pieces together in the same order for ease, kind of eyeballing your guides and aligning them. Once you're done though, what you're gonna wanna do is grab your rod from the butt end, and just like you would sight a gun, you're gonna sight your guides to make sure that you can see all the way down them and they're all in line. Now that our 4-piece rod's put together, we're gonna attach our reel. When you're looking at the butt section of your rod, you have a metal end cap here. This is considered your reel seat. When you're looking at your reel, you're gonna have this metal piece, which is also considered your reel foot. Your foot is gonna go into your reel seat. At the front end of your reel seat, there's an indentation for the front of the foot to slide in and for the reel then to set on the reel seat. Next, you're gonna slide your cues up and then you're gonna screw this area up until it's nice and tight. When you go to put your reel on, make sure that you always have your retrieving side on the correct side. If for any reason you put it on backwards, not a big deal. Go ahead and just loosen this up, flip the reel around, go through the same process. One key thing to note is when you do put this on, you do want to make sure that this is screwed on tightly, not too tight, but tight enough that you have no jiggle in your reel within the reel seat. Now that we have our 4-piece rod together and aligned and our reel attached to our rod, we're going to go ahead and line up our rod. So as you're going to do this, what you're going to do is you're actually going to pull your line off of your reel. What I typically suggest is you pull about double the length of your line, or double the length of your rod off of your reel and your line. What you'll do next is you're actually going to fold your line over in half prior to running it through your guides. This is going to do a couple things for you. Number 1, it's going to make it easier to run through the guides while bringing it up. Additionally, if for any reason as you're running it up, you were to let go or you were to lose grip of your line, as it falls back through, it's gonna stop and catch itself because of the double over. That way you can just start from that point versus starting completely over from the beginning. Couple things to be aware of before you line up where you're setting your reel. If you're at your car, typically the trunk of your car or the tailgate of your car is a great place to set it. If you're outside and you don't have an elevated place off the ground, just be aware of the ground that you're actually setting it in. Make sure it's a soft, good area for the reel. What you don't want to do is set your reel in rocks, gravel, or fine dirt. If for any reason that reel was, you were to pull line off, that reel was to spin in that finer material can actually work itself into your mechanicals and freeze up your reel and or break your parts and the internals. What we're gonna do is I'm just gonna gently set my reel down here on the ground. Like I said, I'm gonna fold my line in half and I'm gonna start up my guides. I'm gonna go 1 guide at a time. Grabbing more line as need be to continue to work up the rod. You may need to adjust the distance of your rod as you get towards the tip, just for ease sake. Continue to lengthen the line that you have. Continue this all the way till you get out of the last guide on the tip of your rod. Once you're through your tip, you're going to take your terminal end or the end that has the loop on it of your line, and you're gonna pull it all the way through the tip of your rod and now let it hang. Because you pulled off that greater amount than the length of your rod at the end, now that your line's hanging, when you go to set your rod straight up to start rigging, your line's not gonna slide back through your guides. Thanks for joining us for this installment of Trouts Tips. For additional parts of this series, visit our Trouts YouTube channel and don't forget to like and subscribe.